Hello, survivors. Welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Jeffrey Card, and today is a special episode because we have got one of our favorite people, KCizzle3g, one of our favorite streamers. How you doing?
I am super fantastic. How is everyone doing today?
We're doing pretty well. We got Joe Swarner here hiding behind your face. And
Joe.
I should just jump right in because you guys are starting a game of Daybreak. It's been a long time since we played Daybreak on this stream. Daybreak is almost a year old, but KCizzle here is actually one of our best Daybreak players in our community. He was one of the first to solo Daybreak with melee weapons only. He's actually got over 170 victories, and so hopefully we're going to do okay today, and KC is going to be able to show us how to play. So I'm glad you're here, KC.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So,
it's exciting.
So when you're getting started with Daybreak, like how do you? What's the loadout that you like to start with? Like how do you approach the very beginning of the experience?
So I haven't used many other guns other than the blast rifle ever since I've unlocked it in Daybreak. That's my go-to gun. The blast rifle, the axe, the great axe, and the deployable mines are my normal loadout.
Gotcha. And we, unfortunately, I don't think we've unlocked the blast rifle in our account because we're using this account that we just made only a few months ago to stream on. And so we have not unlocked hardly any. I think we've maybe played Daybreak once with this account. And that's it.
Well,
and we at Undead Trials would like to, at D-Foot would like to change that and get more people into Daybreak because it's an awesome game.
Thank you. Yeah, when we created Daybreak, we specifically were, we really wanted to create an environment where people can have truly massive zombie defense battles. Because in the open world game, you can defend your base from zombies, but because we've got to simulate this entire open world, there's really a limit to the amount of zombies we can bring in and how complicated that experience can be, because there's just so many other things that could be going on at the same time. So Daybreak is all about paring it down to just that experience of holding the wall against zombies.
And it's incredibly fun. Lots of fun. I know a lot of people complain about it, a lot of the things that happen in Daybreak with the lagging and what have you, but it doesn't take away from the fun to me. And I rage when I play it. It definitely upsets me when things happen and, grenades bounce all over the place, but it's part of the fun. It is.
Yeah, and we are working continuously on trying to resolve things, especially like network issues. We've been spending a lot of time lately trying to figure out how to reduce the incidences of like lag or disconnections and things like that. So it's really hard to solve a lot of those problems all in one blow, but we're still working on it. And still, every day we're paying attention to that.
Yeah, we know you guys are working on it, and we continue to have fun with it while you guys work on it, to show that we don't have to wait and play something else until you guys finish working on it.
Well, so one of the reasons we're playing Daybreak is because we got KCizzle and he's such a pro at it. One of the other reasons that we're playing Daybreak is because ever since our game, went on Game Pass, we put Heartland on Game Pass, we've actually got a steady stream of brand new players coming into the game. Every single day, thousands of new people are trying this game for the first time. And for a lot of those folks, they weren't around for the big, marketing push around Daybreak when it was first released, and we were, putting out videos about it and stuff like that all the time. It's really easy to just miss that Daybreak even exists, and so we wanted to give folks a chance to sort of to see this mode and see how it works. So Joe, you're out here. You're out front fighting the zombies outside the wall. Where is KC right now? Can we see him?
I'm coming in right now. I'm loading in still.
Oh, you're still loading in. Okay, well that makes sense. So yeah, we can kind of see your guy standing out there on the side.
I see Joe went with the traditional loadout, the most popular, with throwing the bandages behind the tech.
And the extra repair kits are up by the walls, Casey.
Okay, so you went to the boxes up front, got a bunch of the gear out of them, and then put them in strategic places around the base?
Yeah.
I do.
So that's one of the more popular strategies. So like Casey put down these minefields already. That's to cover for ferals in case we didn't have that taken care of. In the 1-2 player bracket, you're going to have at least one feral, maybe two every wave. But one of the things that I do is I gather up all the repair kits. You'll have 7 when you load out, so I'll repair this wall with one of them. I'll drop the other 6 here so that when we start to get in trouble, And then usually there's a. Did you pick up these bandages?
I did, and I put them in
Okay.
the first box because, as you're explaining, a very
Okay.
popular strategy is to put them behind the tech so they'll be accessible when things get hairy.
Yep.
However, I find that when you're trying to bend over, since you guys have programmed the Zeds to be able to interrupt that animation of bending over, it can take some time picking up the bandage, and then those precious seconds, the
but
tech could
KC
be damaged or even
But,
dead.
however, Casey, in our latest update,
I was about to
guess what
say.
you don't have to do anymore.
Oh, really?
You don't have to
Yeah.
bend down.
So
That's right, there
you
is
may
that
not have
quick
noticed
swipe.
it.
That's
Yeah, you may not have
right.
noticed it, but
That's
that
right.
Also, that also happens in Daybreak now, so we're pretty fair.
Okay, this is true. Because I've been using it by picking up the wall repair kits. I didn't even put two and two together. But yeah, I have gotten into the habit of putting them in the first box because it's just really quick to open the box, take two out, and take as many as you want out. Because I also got into that habit too, Jeff. Because remember the glitch where the you were using two bandages instead of one?
Oh yeah, you only wanted to grab one at a time so that you don't end up wasting
Exactly.
them, right?
So
Well, that
that's
makes a lot of
why I
sense.
also got into that habit of putting them in the box. You can take out as many as you want, or one at a time.
You know, that is actually what we're talking about. Kind of illustrates one of the interesting challenges of working on a live game. Is the fact that you've got you can have a lot of before a game comes out. You can have a lot of great ideas for for changing the controls and changing things to try to make the game better. But once the game comes out, people build up habits and traditions and advice, and they'll make videos and wiki pages about how to play your game. And then if you go and change everything, all that stuff just goes out the window. People got to start over again.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna go back
And new strategies have to develop.
Go back and repair the walls here in a second as soon as I clear this.
Yeah.
Undo.
I got you covered. Thank you for the communication. A lot of times people don't like playing with randos on Daybreak because the communication isn't there. And you need that communication in Daybreak. I'm going over the wall, repair the wall. That type of stuff is important if you're looking to get a Daybreak victory.
Yeah, it's partly good for victory, and also just makes the game more fun to have other human beings to to be interacting
It does.
with, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, folks in the chat are agreeing with you. I like Cake is like you totally have to have comms in Daybreak.
You definitely have to. It definitely helps, and it makes it fun. People not taking your Clio drop stuff.
What? You mean the guy who picks up the submachine gun and takes all of your ammo isn't actually helping out the team?
and then leaves the game.
Uh-huh.
Like, where'd you go with the deployable mines that we need in the 6th wave?
Well, those spawn in the 5th wave, Casey. Come on now. You know this.
Well, I don't need them in the 5th, though. I could use my melee weapon.
One thing that's fun is reading through the chat. A lot of folks in the chat are sharing their own strategies about where they put their collectibles, where they put their mines, things like that. We had a lot of pros in our chat. P1, for instance, is sharing some of his strategies in there, which So
and you notice that KC has a big old melee weapon on his back. And anybody that's watching me, which would be some of you, maybe even most of you, you'll notice I have no melee weapon equipped.
So is that so you can get quicker kills from behind, or you less weighed down, or what it's about?
Nice.
Flying. Well, so if you the flying
Like, give us
strike,
kicks.
if you have no melee weapon equipped, it actually turns into a flying kick, which will knock over. It will knock a armored zombie over, and that's the fastest way to kill him. So you knock him over, do a quick stab in the face.
You almost got hit by a Clio drop.
Yeah, well, that doesn't. Oh, I still have a bunch of this ammo.
I'm not actually sure what happens if you stand directly under a Clio drop. I assume that it kind of shoves you out of the way or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was just playing. Gears 5 is about to come out, so I was just playing Gears 4 to remind myself what's going on. And there was one section where you're on a big elevator, and it's got these clamps that clamp onto the elevator every time it stops at a place. And I was like, oh, I should stand where one of those clamps is and see what happens. And it just crushes you to death, and you have to go back to the last checkpoint. So I'm hoping our Clio drops don't do that.
No, that would end up being not so fun.
I mean, it was definitely on brand for Gears to just crush you into a pile of meat, but.
All right, you got everything from over there, Casey?
I did.
Okay. I think it's shotgun ammo that's left in here, but since neither of us is using that.
I'll take these snacks.
So Kermit Memes OWO wants to know, why did you guys choose to put the bots behind the walls? To clarify for folks, I assume they're talking about when you're playing with a very small number of people, we'll fill in some of the ranks of your team with AI controlled
That guy.
red talent. That person right there, and so. So I wasn't involved in designing or programming the AI of those bots, but I can imagine that bots tend to, there's no such thing as a perfect bot. Bots will tend to do annoying things sometimes, and it seems like there are more annoying things they could do outside the wall than inside the wall. More ways for them to get themselves pointlessly killed outside the wall than inside the wall. And so if we can just sort of keep them corralled in an area where they can contribute, but minimize the opportunities that they have to do horrible things, that's probably the sweet spot. So you want them to contribute, but like cut off as many opportunities for them to be obnoxious as possible.
And I like the fact that they hop over the wall at random. You see them hop over and,
They come
take
right
care
back.
of business. Yeah, they jump right back over. I like it. It makes them seem more real.
Oh, Typed Metal 125 had a suggestion. Ever consider NPC hordes turning into zombies if you ignore them? So we've got enclaves in the base game. We've got enclaves of characters that you can spend a lot of time ignoring, and eventually they'll go away, or sometimes they'll turn hostile if you ignore them too long. But the idea of having them all turn into zombies is actually pretty clever. We hadn't considered that, so that's in the back of my head now. We'll see where it goes. So Awesome Twitch Toad wants to know if the bots can die.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can.
You get
And they do leave stuff on the ground for you to pick up.
Oh, that's very helpful. It was kind
Very
of them.
helpful.
They also turn into zombies, right? Like if they get killed the right way.
They do. Yes.
Or the wrong way.
Yeah.
You will, or the
depending.
wrong way, really? Yeah. You will have to end them. I hate the flying leap finisher. Anyone else agree with that?
What do you think of the flying? What do you mean
The
by
flying leap where you go the flying stab,
Oh,
that finisher,
No, that's,
the diving stab.
the diving stab isn't really a finisher. I'm not sure what it is, other than like practically useless.
Yeah, yes, I'm glad you're saying that.
Yeah, one thing we have been looking into is the finishers themselves. Sometimes some of them take a really long time, and it kind of incentivizes people not to use them. And we actually want people to be thinking about, like going for the head. Like when you're fighting a zombie, it feels like more like you're fighting a zombie if you're thinking, I gotta go for the head, I gotta go for the head. And so we've been working on trying to make those a little bit more attractive in future updates. We'll have to see where that goes.
Have you seen the finisher he's talking about? Because if you didn't, there it was. And
Oh,
you'll
I
notice
wasn't looking
that the
at you.
zombie I just finished is still crawling around.
Oh yeah, so that must be sort of the because we've got some attacks that are just downward attacks. That must be one of the downward attacks for close combat.
Come on.
Oh, we gotta grab her. We gotta grab her. Touchy feely, no touchy feely.
We've got a couple of suggestions from the audience here about ways that we could improve Daybreak. Typed Metal 125 wants to know if we'll ever consider doing a Daybreak Nightmare mode, where we kind of bring in a lot of the
More difficult?
increased difficulty from Nightmare mode and see if you can do Daybreak that way. That's a pretty good idea, and I don't know exactly when, because we've got a lot of priorities right now already kind of lined up for how we're going to try to improve this game over the coming months. And so at some point we probably should return to Daybreak and see what we can do. And that seems like one of the things that would make the most sense, right? Since we introduced Nightmare mode after Daybreak had already been out for several months. It didn't really apply to Daybreak, and so now it seems like that wouldn't be a bad idea. We'll have to see what our options are.
All right, where's the Juggernaut? Oh, it's right in the center.
The center. There he
There
is.
he is. Look at that guy. Blaze Experience has a suggestion that we could.
Oh.
So right now, when you want to heal the technician, if he's like off fighting a zombie, you can't heal him. You can only heal him when he returns to his normal state. And Blaze was suggesting that he.
Widen that.
I don't want to be talking over the death of a Juggernaut. That's always a moment to be celebrated. But he was suggesting that what if it was just.
I missed one.
If the only
we gotta walk
qualification was the technician being in the right place, even if he wasn't in the AI state
I got it.
of typing at that
alright.
keyboard. And that's a decent suggestion. I'm assuming that would be a significant change. That healing him when he's in a certain state versus healing him when he's in a certain place. That'll have different complications, and so that would be something we'd have to explore carefully. But that's not a bad idea, especially just because AI can sometimes be twitchy. You can't always predict exactly what it's going to think it's the right time to do. And so if an AI is having trouble getting into the right state, you don't want the player's options to be hindered by that. So that is the kind of suggestion that we would usually, we try to solve problems like that all the time. Trying to hedge around, like, okay, the AI might be doing something weird, so let's design a way around it so the player doesn't have to depend on the AI in order to do what they want to do. So Blaze is thinking like a game designer, which is good.
Which isn't surprising.
I'm proud of you. that sounded patronizing. I apologize.
All right, we got it.
That wasn't what I meant. Let's see here. Muv3ka wants to know, is the Flying Strike a Red Talon specific skill? No, the Flying Strike is a that's
acrobatics.
It's acrobatics. That's right. So Red Talon does get it because the Red Talon skills give you every possible skill effect, with a few exceptions. And so if you have not been playing with acrobatic characters, you might not have seen it very much and maybe only saw it on your Red Talon character. So I see why you would draw that conclusion. But yeah, no, it's just an acrobatic thing. And I think it's is it jumping into combat that causes it? Is that how,
yeah, so you know how you have like a normal, like your special attack, right?
Yeah, like you hold the turbo button and hit A.
And so turbo button A for the Flying Strike is when you have no weapon equipped as a flying kick.
So we are through 3 phases of Daybreak so far.
My battle axe. I've dropped it someplace.
Oh. That's interesting.
Okay. Let me check behind the wall.
I think I may have put it in a box, maybe.
How are you guys feeling about this round so far?
Feeling pretty good.
Oh, pretty comfortable. Pretty comfortable.
See, I would be sweating bullets right now if I were playing, but luckily I'm not.
Well, it's a good thing that
I'm gonna go to the Overwatch spot.
Bullets are the only cure.
Bullets are the only cure.
KNT is suggesting that they'd like to see NPC commands. They'd like to be able to see us be able to give NPCs orders or put them into different states, maybe with dialogue. We've actually got some folks here who agree with that. We definitely can't make any promises right now because it's only in the experimental sort of conceptual stage. But yeah, one of our designers has actually been putting a lot of thought into the kinds of things he'd like to be able to order NPCs to do and thinking about how he could implement it. So that's it's. Like I said, anytime I talk about something that we're thinking about, that is really all I can promise, is that we're thinking about it. We could just as easily get partway down and be like, oh, there's no way we can do this. So don't take this as a promise. But we are thinking about it.
We've heard from bug reports and the wish list that, this is something that the players want us to focus on. So, I mean, it is something that we are certainly paying attention to. But like Jeffrey said, time and technical constraints may stop whatever it is that we want to fix.
So Tex Digital asks, why did you change it to where only the host can heal the tech instead of anyone? That was actually a bug. And
we get that fixed.
Yeah, did that get fixed in update 10 or is it in the future still? I can't remember.
Oh, that was a bug?
Yeah, that was a bug. That was not on purpose.
So,
I'm glad I never ran into that one.
Yeah, no. So in update 9, I believe we shipped a bug where only the host could actually heal the attack.
Hey, Cake!
We fixed it in update 10, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, when I read the bug for the first time, I misinterpreted it. I thought it was saying that nobody could heal the technician. I was like, oh, holy crap,
no.
Daybreak is completely broken.
That's an Undead Trials challenge right there.
Yeah, but apparently people adapted pretty quick, and they just made a rule that the host always hangs out inside so they can heal the technician, which is great and very resourceful. But that wasn't the intent. We wanted everybody to be able to do it. So we've got to fix. I don't remember if it went out with update 10 or not, or if it's just sitting in the works. But it's
sliding bloaters. How about those? Who likes those?
Yeah, I feel like I wrote a patch note for it, which is making me think. But
and as the customer advocate, right? Like, That's one of the things that I care about. Is this is one of our few paid DLCs, and if people have paid for something, it should be high quality. And, well, you know, this that particular bug made this almost
good point.
unplayable, right? So.
Yeah. So you guys hear that? So for those of you who don't know, Joe Swarner's job is customer advocate, which means that it's his job to listen to the feedback that you get. He kind of runs our support site, support.stateofdecay.com, and he listens to all of the reports of bugs you guys send in. He manages the wish list. He runs all that stuff, and so his role around here is to be a voice for you guys, because we try, as individual developers, a lot of us do try to engage with you guys on Twitter and on streams and things like that.
But guys do a great job at that.
But none of us can do all of it, and it's all sort of on our own time. But Joe's the one who's like, his profession is getting on your side, finding out what you guys are, what you guys need, and making sure that the rest of us hear about it. And so he often will come over, to one of our desks, explain a problem that's going on, help us understand why it's really important for us to prioritize it, and he bumps stuff up the priority list so that you guys can get fixes to the bugs that really matter the most to you. So. You guys have nothing but thanks to offer this guy. He makes a big difference.
Joe, you are the man. Thank you, sir, for all you do for us.
I didn't mean to put him on the spot and embarrass him, but he's doing great work over here.
Joe, did you get my request yet about reloading from the supply locker as we were able to do in State of Decay 1?
Yeah, I've heard it. But,
okay.
We've got the wish list on the website. That's kind of where we're going to keep the suggestions for now. We do have to quantify it at some point, right?
Yeah.
And as an avid player of State of Decay 2 myself, it's sometimes hard, to if I'm not quantifying it, to justify that this isn't just something that I want fixed.
Yeah, that's one of the problems. It's like I've got my favorite things.
That's when it'll get fixed, when Joe wants it fixed. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, it's like stuff that I want to fix, just because for me as a player of State of Decay 2, it's very easy for me to prioritize up the things that I care about. But it's smarter to pay more attention to what everyone is complaining about and hit the things that matter to the most people. And so that's the nice thing. So we had our wish list channel on Discord for a long time, where it was kind of a big chaotic conversation, people throwing ideas out and they would scroll up and get lost. So now, to improve on that, it's at support.stateofdecay.com,
yes,
right?
support.stateofdecay.com.
There's a wish list section where we've actually got you can add an item to the wish list and they can be curated and upvoted and sort of culled so that we can really get an accurate sense of not just what ideas do people have, but what are the most attractive ideas, what are the most popular ideas, the things that people are missing the most. And then that can help us inform our priorities over here. And it doesn't mean that we're always necessarily going to do the top thing every single time. Sometimes there's a good reason why something is difficult or expensive to do, and it's better to wait on that and do something else first. But us knowing what people care about the most as an entire community is huge for us being able to to make the right decisions about what to develop next.
Understood.
So I would like to take a moment, for those of you who weren't paying attention, we just got +3 prestige while out in the field. That's because a feral came back here and destroyed itself on one of these mines, for those of you who don't know. And that's one of the big reasons why the minefields are some of the most powerful things you can have here. There are ferals that spawn between the
Got
rounds.
him.
And so there were 2 ferals on that one.
Yeah.
So
I killed both of them actually. It wasn't a mine that killed them. I met a feral in the field.
I was just anyway.
But that could have worked.
Yeah.
That's why it's smart to have mines, even though actually we have something better than mines. We got KCizzle on our team.
There you go.
But yeah, that's why I put those mines back there, because we tried not to spend much time back with the tech, because all the Zeds are usually in the front. And if you're having time to jump over the wall and have to kill a feral who's harassing the tech, you're gonna lose a wall.
At least
that makes
one.
sense. So when you're playing, you tend to spend most of your time out there, outside the wall, with the zombies, not hiding behind the walls.
Correct. Only if the wall goes down do you see me in the back with the tech. If the wall goes down, to try to get the wall back up, or to protect the tech.
No, that makes a lot of sense. So when Daybreak first came out, Was it just easy for you immediately because you had always been because you'd already been playing a lot of State of Decay 2?
Heck no.
What did you have to learn? What was the stuff that sort of you had to change your mind about in order to get where you are?
I had to learn the game, learn the waves, learn how they operated, learned how, wave 1 was different from wave 3, and how wave 4 is different from wave 5, what to do, what not to do, what to focus on in each wave, what's important. When jugs come around, do I drop everything and dispatch that jug, or, do I still cover my walls?
So what's the answer? What's the answer to that question, actually? Like, when a jug comes, what is the right way to handle it?
If you're playing solo, the right way to handle it is to keep him off the wall and to cover the wall. Keep your eyes on the wall. Keep your eyes on the other Zeds who are, accosting the wall, because they will bring it down. And, you don't want to have to be dealing with a juggernaut when you got 100 zombies going towards the tech.
Preparing.
Yeah, it's like it's an interesting sort of game of balance, right? Because if you let the Juggernaut get to the wall, he can take it down super fast. But if you spend so much time fighting him, anyone else can also take the wall down a little slower.
Correct. You got it. So it's got to be balanced. It's got to be a balance. You have to balance your attack and know, where things are, where the state of things are.
So I'm gonna point your mic at you a little better, Joe. Make sure you're speaking up.
Speak up.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Joe and I, like, my natural voice, this is how loud I talk all the time. It's actually a real challenge. We have an open office out there, and it's actually very hard for me to keep my voice low enough that other people can work near me. But Joe has the opposite problem. He's got the perfect voice for working in an open office. But I'm sitting here, peaking constantly on the microphone, and it's no problem to hear what I'm saying. But so, everybody's kind of got their own thing. Every voice you can possibly have is a trade-off.
Yes.
You can repair those walls, Joe?
I
got them covered.
I got the juggernaut.
If you hop back in there and, okay.
Okay, so it sounds like
we're going to lose a wall, though.
It's getting hectic. Which one?
5, I think is how you refer to it.
Is it on the far right or the far left if it's 5?
Waffle side or snake side?
No, wait, no, we're gonna lose them all.
Wall's clear.
Men without hats. Okay. This one's coming down. Where the juggernaut.
Juggy on that wall.
Oh,
yep.
So you just timed that so that it would be fixed right at the moment it went down?
Something like that.
I'm coming to help.
Okay.
Oh, man, we got a cone head.
I just need somebody to...
We got 2 cone heads on the same wall. What's up?
Oh, Daybreak is great if you want to find out all of the special zombies.
Oh, man. He changed walls. That's a smart juggernaut.
There he goes. Down. Finally.
Sorry, I came back to heal the walls.
Scarproof,
I got the wall.
Scarproof wants to know if this is wave 5 yet, and yes, this is wave 5.
Yes, this is where most people fail.
Yeah, so you can't. Folks can't see the HUD because we're in front of it, but there's the HUD right there.
Oh wow! I got the wall. Cover him.
Okay, I got you.
We're gonna lose wall 2.
It's all right.
It looks like we're getting close to the end of the round, though. So if you just hold out a little longer.
If you've got a grenade,
yeah.
Wall 3.
I got you. Center wall. Like that?
Yeah. You guys see that communication? That was great. One of them sees a problem, the other one can solve it.
Okay, wall 3 is a problem. I have one more
Daybreak
repair
is
kit.
a team sport, in my mind. Though our next Undead Trials are going to be an ultimate solo challenge.
Oh yeah. So tell us about the next Undead Trials.
So the next Undead Trials are going to be revisit back to our first Undead Trials. Since we're going through some staffing changes, we're going to go back to our first love, or our first challenge, which was Daybreak solos. But we're turning up the challenge by having 2 of our D-foot refs that people are familiar with in the game, so that it'll make it a 3 count.
Okay.
But you're a solo.
Oh wait, so you're gonna get 3 people into a game to make it the hardest possible, but 2 of them hang back and don't help, and the other one just has to do the whole thing by themselves.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, but you guys, that's great. So when you're playing with 3 people, that's when you've got no bot support, but you've still got a maximally difficult Daybreak, Daybreak difficulty level, and so you guys are just hacking the rules to make a more difficult solo challenge. That's great. So we should tell folks, for anyone out there who doesn't know what Undead Trials is, you can go to bit.ly/SODDFUT, and it's got you guys' Discord, right? When you're sort of organizing stuff and talking about what to do.
Correct. That is the events Discord. If you want to get in on the State of Decay events, that's the place to go.
Yeah, and so these events, especially like Undead Trials, basically they come up with a different way to play the game, a way to score and decide who wins, and they have a bunch of people compete and sort of see who can either score in different trials. Sometimes it's scoring the most points, sometimes it's achieving victory at some really difficult challenges. But then it's basically a tournament, right? It's got a winner at the end, and I think sometimes Undead Labs even kicks in a couple of prizes for folks who take the top spot.
Oh my God!
Every time. We like to say we're sponsored by you guys. You guys have prized all of our Undead Trials winners, and we appreciate you guys.
I was crossing my fingers and hoping that was true, but it's not my job, and so I wasn't going to claim we were doing it. And in case yeah, Megan usually runs that stuff, and
yeah, Megan has been on point every single Undead Trials with us. On point.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested, if anybody out there hasn't done it before and really wants to get in on Undead Trials, go to the URL down there. And you can join in that Discord and find out everything that's going on.
Yes. If you're on Twitter, it's the best place to be, but definitely jump into the Discord and talk to us organizers. We'll get you squared away. So
Gumball for Good is reminding me to check the YouTube chat more often. So I've been kind of watching the chat off and on. So I'm sorry if I missed something. I do know that I kind of skipped over it because it was mostly just sort of self-congratulatory, but or whatever, self-indulgent is what I meant to say. Gumball for Good did ask me how my day was. So my day's great. We actually had I've had a couple of weekends soloing the kids, and so we just going to sit around at home and everyone plays video games, and that was kind of fun. So I'm having a good time. And I'll see.
I love that you just use video game terminology for your own kids. I'm soloing the kids.
Soloing the kids, yeah, exactly. That's how I think of it. Yeah, totally. So
it's kind of like a Daybreak challenge, huh? The diapers.
So Caleb,
how old's your kid?
I got 4. So my oldest is 13, my youngest is 4. So nice big spread. They all play different games too. My oldest is big into Apex Legends. She plays Apex Legends with her friends. They've got like a group that gets together, and their main strategy is just to hide until the very last battle, and then come in and try to third party whoever's left. And then my second daughter, she's very into Roblox. She likes to play Roblox with her friends. Like she'll like get her phone on speakerphone and like get multiple friends in there and play a big Roblox game together. My third one is actually a Minecraft creator. Like she loves to build huge monstrosities in Minecraft, and she built a self-portrait one time, which I was really proud of. And then the fourth one, he's really little. He likes to. What is his favorite game? I think he likes to play Adventure Pals. He likes to rope other people into playing Adventure Pals with him. It's a little indie side scroller, but he's really good at side scrollers. Plays a lot of Battle Block Theater and stuff like that. So. Got a whole video game playing family. That was way more about me than anyone wanted to hear.
Nice. Not at all.
Luckily, folks have a lovely game of Daybreak to watch if they don't actually care about what I'm saying.
How's those walls looking down there on Snake Side?
Well,
and we call this Snake Side because of Undead Mark.
Oh yeah.
And the picture down there of the Snake Room. It's called the Snake Room. Yeah, that's why we call it Snake Side.
Snake Side. Snake Side and Waffle Side, is that the other one?
That's right. Because I don't only like left, right, up, text under attack.
Got him.
Yeah, left, right doesn't work if you turn around, right?
Exactly.
Like if you came from one of those, I think there's a couple of like cultures in Australia where they don't have left, right, forward, back. What they have is away from the coast and towards the coast, or like towards the mountains and away from the mountains. And so everything, you rotate and all of your directions stay solid. And so they could play this game really, really well, and they have no confusion about directions. But yeah, that's harder for us. So Awesome Twitch Dude wants to know if any of my kids play State of Decay 2.
Awesome Twitch Dude.
One of them does, and it's the 4-year-old. and I probably shouldn't let him play. But sometimes he won't let me alone. He calls it zombie game. It's like, Daddy, can I play zombie game? And I'm like, no. And I tried to say no for a while, and then he's so insistent about it. I'm like, fine, but I'm going to watch you, and if you get in any trouble, we're getting out of there. And so he just likes to drive cars around and wreck them, and it's great. But, okay, so Caleb Carr wants to know, how did those zombies get the cones on their heads? And I just assume that there's somebody running around in the apocalypse just sticking cones on their heads and running away.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, we have the zombie trappers, right, in the main story.
That's true.
Like, it could have been them.
And we have Cletus from the original game, you know, who was the guy who fixed all the signs that you knocked down with your car.
Oh, wow.
So he's probably going around and marking the zombies, you know, with these cones.
Exactly. See, like, he's just like, oh, this one's a danger. Caution. Zombie.
Exactly. In case you weren't aware, zombies are dangerous. We'll put cones on their heads.
Yeah, right. Caution.
So Typed Metal 125 wants to know, were the jugs fat before the outbreak or after? So there's actually a couple
Depends on whose lore you're listening to.
Exactly, right? Because I think we kind of addressed that question differently in State of Decay 1 and in State of Decay Lifeline. We kind of have different answers to that question. But it's kind of coming from different people's perspectives. Because in State of Decay 1, there's some commentary about how at least some of the Juggernauts are particular people that people knew who were fat before the apocalypse. I forgot what the name was, but they're like, the boys from that family were always big. And so there's a kind of a hint that maybe they were this size before the apocalypse, but they're kind of inhumanly large. Like, they're kind of bigger than any person really would be realistically. And so while some people might connect it to that in the early State of Decay lore, in Lifeline, you've got Sasquatch commenting on the fact that, why do all these zombies look the same? You know, why is it that you can always recognize a Juggernaut and a Feral? You think if they were just mutating randomly, they wouldn't look the same as each other. They'd be all different. Like, every zombie would be different. But instead, they're these consistent species, and he's asking questions about that and not answering them, because we like asking questions and not answering them here at Undead Labs.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
just throwing them out at us.
If you answer it, you take away the mystery.
Exactly.
And
So
that's what I find myself telling customers a lot. People are like, well, we want to know the whole story.
I got you, B-Fam.
But what if that was, like, the point?
yeah.
We gotta, Joe. We gotta knock out these last 2 jugs as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Big Lou just reminded us.
Take one of the Clio weapons though, so be careful. Here, I got the blast rifle. We're good.
Big Lou just reminded us the name. It was the Miller Boys. That's who it was that folks in Trumbull Valley thought that the Juggernauts came from. They said, "Oh, those Miller Boys, they're always big." So thanks, Big Lou,
Who's
for
that?
knowing our lore better.
Big Lou.
Yeah, knowing our lore better than we do.
Oh, and
the Miller Boys were jugs inside one, as Scarproof pointed out.
One of the great things is now that we can empty guns of ammo.
Oh yeah.
You can do that for these Clio guns too, so you just end up getting more Clio ammo.
Oh, gotcha. You can pick up the gun, drop the ammo out of it, or just empty it into your inventory.
Yeah, just like that.
Perfect. So you just leave the gun there if you don't need it.
Right.
That's
Did you
awesome.
just get that prestige pop? I just killed a Feral.
I don't know.
It's easy to miss those.
Melee. By the way.
Yeah.
So actually, we did have a request from Blaze that if we get through this first round through this first round of Daybreak, which it looks like we got one round left. If we get through this one, and we want to start a new one, the new one should be melee only, because that's KCizzle's specialty.
Hey, it's up to Joe.
Okay.
We're not going to be able to get through the whole thing anyway, so they're not going to get to see the ending.
So like the first 3 rounds.
So we get a couple of waves.
Yeah, and get to look like badasses, then we shut the whole thing down.
Right. I like it.
Get to shut the whole thing down right before we.
All right, I'm not gonna go into my perch spot here.
We had a tradition on the stream for a long time of just always losing a character at the end of the stream, no matter what we did. So if somebody wants to die, that would be just fine.
I don't like death.
I don't know. That might be against my ethics.
I'm kind of like Scarproof. I don't like dying. It doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah, right. I will agree with Scar on that policy, not liking to die.
It's funny, like sometimes I'll play a game that involves a lot of permadeath and I'll decide up front, like, oh yeah, I'm going to accept every death that happens and I'm just going to live with it and that's going to be the story that I tell. I say that at the beginning and at some point I always chicken out and I'm like, no, I've invested way too much in that character. I like
Yep,
RimWorld. You know, I'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna tell a really hardcore, tragic story of a colony that suffers through a lot of death, and then a character I really depend on gets killed. And I'm like, oh well, you know, it's okay if I reload this time. That wasn't quite fair. It's fine.
Exactly. I'll make the judgment call. If it's not fair or not, hey, I'm calling it back. I call it vetoing the death.
Yeah.
I veto deaths.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, like
I'll veto a death quick.
Like if I don't care that much about the character and it's like an interesting story, sometimes I'll still keep it. But you know, sometimes I just can't. I can't live without somebody.
Well, especially if your playthrough is very story based, is very story driven, like mine is. You know, my red leader and my communities are very story based driven. And if somebody dies where I feel it's unfair in the nightmare mode, which happens a lot, we're vetoing that.
So so folks should know. Folks who don't follow KCizzle should know that even before we created Heartland to try to add more story into State of Decay 2. I mean, the way that KCizzle plays, he creates a story with his own community, and it's definitely worth checking out. You know, to see. You know, we intended this game to be a tool people could use to tell their own stories, and he really has leaned into that in a way that sort of makes our little designer hearts beat a little faster. So.
Right. That's right. I love it. And if you want to catch up with my stories, you hop into my Discord, because that's where I'll be putting. I'm up to Red Leader 7 will be the next created Red Leader. The last one was 6. And we're looking forward to see what 7 brings us, where he takes us.
And so towards the end of the stream, we're going to put all of the links to all of KCizzle's stuff up on the screen. And if you're watching this on YouTube later, go down to the doobly-doo. We'll have all of his links there too.
Awesome.
So normally around now is when we would do our community spotlight. Obviously, we don't want to interrupt the last round of Daybreak to do that. But actually, we've been thinking about trying to do community spotlight in a little bit of a different way from here on out. What we're hoping to do is actually ask people, prompt them to come up with very specific things. Not just sort of letting people play until they run into a bug or a hilarious physics error or something like that and just post that. We'd actually like to see what people's games look like when things are going really well. You know, they want to see the things that people are proud of. And so I was thinking that we could just start right now by suggesting we'd love to see your car collections. So I know a lot of you out there have got a base that is surrounded by cars. And some of you have gone for quantity. Some of you have gone for quality, trying to get the rarest and most beautiful cars. Some of you have very specific tastes, like Fallout Girl's Normata.
Norma.
The Normata is
Normata.
It's one of the 7 wonders of State of Decay. And some people, of course, like Mon Prince, like to store their cars in unusual places. So if you've got a car collection, what we'd love to see is if you could just share either a screenshot or a video of your car collection and send it to here post it on Twitter or on Instagram. No, not that one. This one with this hashtag SOD2 Spotlight. Share it with SOD2 Spotlight as your hashtag, and we'll collect those and we'll put together sort of a montage to share on a future stream. I don't know if it would be the next stream, depends on how fast we get these in. But on a future stream, we'll go through and show some of people's car collections and let you share it with the entire community. And so let's just we just want to see what that'll be like to try that out. And oh man, it looks like the sun's actually coming up. We're coming up on Daybreak's namesake here.
Oh, we've won.
Oh,
where's the
That's it. Are you guys done?
Yeah,
I just took out the last judge. He's down.
For the next 20, 30 seconds.
Well, congratulations. One thing I should say, by the way, if you make a video of your car collection, keep it under like 30 seconds, okay? Because if it's much longer than that, we can't actually share it on the air. But yeah, okay, we got a victory dance from KCizzle. But now what that means is we've got the harder challenge ahead of us, because now we got to go melee only with our next round. Once the time ticks down, we got to play again, and this time, you're just murdering.
You like that?
You like that? That was great.
See, one of my favorite things is when you have the rocket pods, and then you'll set those off at 1 second, and so that whole cut scene right here
is just full of rocket pods going on.
It's full of the rocket pods going off, and the tech just laying down on the ground.
That's awesome.
I'll have to save the last rocket pod for that next time.
Oh look, we got a flawless victory. Oh no, what?
Look at that, no deaths.
No
What?
deaths. Man, it's like people knew what they were doing.
Look at the sheer number of zombies And the amount of prestige you guys earned me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
There
that.
you go.
It's not really mine anymore. We used to play
Too
this
bad
on...
some walls went
Look
down,
at all
though.
these rewards you just got. Huh?
Nice.
Oh, you did get some achievements. Nice.
Look at this.
At the battle rifle. That was my when this first came out. That was my favorite weapon. Was the battle rifle.
What is it now?
It's a tie between the sharpshooter rifle and the heavy sniper.
Nice. Well, let's play again. Let's get this thing going again. And this time, no guns.
Well,
No
I'm gonna
guns.
take some guns.
So you've unlocked. So what's your favorite melee weapon? If you got to go solo, which one are you gonna grab?
If I was going solo, which one would I grab? The
Oh, no,
great
I mean, sorry. If you're going without, it's that one right there, the one that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, the great hammer. Which I'm sure that's. I don't know, KC. What do you got? What's yours?
The Great Hammer.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Battle axe. I have the battle axe.
You
I'm
have the
sorry.
battle axe.
Oh, the big one.
Yep.
The big one, not the hand axe, but the battle axe.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with the war hammer, just because high impact for the juggernauts.
Okay, good deal.
And it doesn't really matter what I choose here, because well, I could take the sticky grenades. I guess that'll be fun.
What's up, Maris? I can still get my deployables. Now, on melee only, we do allow explosives.
Okay, so you can throw bombs, you can leave mines, but
Right.
you just can't shoot with guns.
Can't shoot a bullet.
So let's see here. So Amarga Vita wants to know, why doesn't the Gunslinger perk work in Daybreak? We made that decision because the Gunslinger perk, which is the perk for those who don't know, it's the ability from the Gunslinger skill that lets you hit the A button while you're aiming to just snap to the nearest zombie's head. We felt like that was such a dominant strategy that would be how everyone played Daybreak, and it would kind of equalize everybody's skill level, and there wouldn't be so much of a sense of accomplishment for defeating the zombies because you're just doing exactly mechanically what everyone else does. And so we turned it off in Daybreak because we wanted people to actually, for your aim to matter, for there to be a bigger difference between, having a good run of Daybreak and having an unsuccessful run of Daybreak.
So as you guys can see here on the bottom of the screen in this description, aim snap and shot piercing disabled in Daybreak.
Yeah, so shot piercing, that was the ability to basically have a really increased. Was it the dismemberment?
No, it's basically like being able
Going
to go
through guys, right?
Going through it, and
That also felt super powerful. You just line
Except
up
for-
along the wall and just take guys out with just one shot,
except
right?
for
Yeah,
one problem. 7.62 ammo already pierces.
Well, at least you can't just do it with every single gun, right?
Right.
So
So
you still got to make a decision about which gun you want to have if that's going to be your strategy.
if you're going with the shotgun, aim low.
I mean, I guess that doesn't even help. I guess folks would want a gunslinging in Daybreak, and they wouldn't cry about all the lagging and what have you still. They probably would. Probably.
Well, and that is something like I said, we're always paying attention to what the players are talking about, and the concept of lag isn't new, especially to online games and online gaming modes. So we're working on it.
I'm going to try to stay in front of you since you have the camera.
Oh. Yes, we can't.
We got to watch this badassery happen. We can't just have it happen in the background.
All right. So what's that fly just in front of me all the time? What's going on?
Jumping jacks.
Okay, so we're getting really close. Prepare for the zombies. They're coming. Like, some folks question whether our game needs emotes, but when you're waiting for a Daybreak round to start, there's nothing better.
Like
Nothing better.
Nothing better than saying, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have like two character
With my back
interactions, so you
to
can't
the-
do the shoulder hey from Spider-Man. All right, we're gonna get medieval on these guys. So if you just got a dagger there, Joe?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you going zombie bowling?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, no, that makes sense. You can actually take out multiple zombies all at once there. Now, of
That's how
course,
you take out a bloater.
so since
just-
you guys have only two, you get a bot, and the bot is going to keep using guns. But luckily, the bot's less effective than you guys. Doesn't make that much of a difference. I imagine that in the Undead Trials, when folks are trying to play solo, they're not going to have any bots because you're going to have those 2 extra players coming in.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh. Correct. Oh, you got somebody on you. All right. Took care of him. Oh.
You're mostly. It feels like you're just fighting with knees only sometimes.
Pretty much, yeah. I really like the flying strike. It gives you a definite advantage. But the only way to use it is to not have a melee weapon equipped.
So there are a few people who have been talking about Daybreak soldiers inside the main game. And so for those of you who are new to Daybreak or who are new to the game, the way it works is when you play Daybreak, you earn this this currency called Prestige. And Prestige can be used back in your base game. Your entire account keeps track of how much Prestige you have. So any of your other games, any of your other save games that you've got, your communities that you're maintaining, you can go back there and spend Prestige on upgrades. You can either get like a facility in your community that's from Red Talon that lets you build special stuff. You can get a lot of like there's a trader who can sell you stuff, so you can buy Red Talon weapons or Clio weapons. And then also you can spend your prestige to get characters who look a lot like these characters here. Their skills and stuff are a little bit different, but they're some of the most powerful characters in the game. So that's one of the reasons why people play Daybreak. Part of it is just because the challenge, wanting to challenge yourself against something like this. But one of the other reasons is because the rewards you earn here carry over into your core game, and you can have some of the most badass characters in the game.
2,750 prestige.
I want to address something Mom Prince. Oh no, side chat. The Gray has just mentioned throwing Zeds into the bloaters when you're doing melee.
Oh yeah.
Or close combat. Yes, that's one way to explode the bloaters or get rid of them without dealing with the smoke. But if you melee them and just dodge out of the cloud, you can get out of it without taking any damage.
I just realized that would be one of the biggest concerns is figuring out how to deal with bloaters. If you're trying to do a melee only run, the bloaters are the ones that basically they're designed to make players use guns, and so trying to deal with them without guns, you gotta really think it through, don't you?
Yes.
Or there's
you have to have a strategy.
I'll show you another way of dealing with it, which is basically you just get them close and you aggro them in a certain direction, and they will fall over chasing you.
Oh yeah, that's true. They'll fall over by themselves. One of our best animations in the game, by the way.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh.
Boom.
Rule number 1: bloater cardio.
Come on.
So Nightmaker wants to know, is there a way, so when you have won the game several times, you collect your old characters in a pool that you can then draw from to start new games. And in that pool, one thing that you can see the sort of the traits and the skills of a character, you can't see their inventories. And so Nightmaker was asking, is there a way to do it? And right now, no, there is not a way to see their inventories, which is too bad because I think a lot of players, the way that they use these characters, partly it's to carry a character over and all of their skills and their benefits over into a future game, but sometimes people will actually load up those characters with items that they want to transmit from one game to the next. And if you don't know which items they have, it's really easy to lose track of that. So that is feedback that we've gotten before, that folks would love to know what items the characters have. And I don't think it's too crazy. I don't know the code of it, so I don't know if there's some sort of hidden booby trap in there where it's like, it actually would be really, really hard to show that information. I think it mostly is just that's a whole brand new UI that we built, and it takes us a lot of effort to build a new menu. And so we were able to we built it to the scale that we can manage for the time that we were trying to release that. But I don't think it's crazy to wonder if we could maybe show their inventories at some point. So I'd love to revisit that screen at some point and maybe add some new options there. So I imagine. Is it harder to keep the walls up in melee mode? Like, do you find yourself dealing with walls going down more often?
Yeah, you do. I wouldn't say more often.
Oh yeah.
But you'd have to deal with them.
Like once you've gotten used to playing in melee, it's basically like it's like anything else. You can all of your skills at keeping them off the walls still apply.
Yes, you have to watch the wall still.
Well, we are getting towards the end of this, and so let's make sure. Let's run through all the stuff we wanted to make sure that folks in the audience were aware of before we start getting out of here. So first off, Undead Trials is about to start. It's going to be happening over Labor Day weekend, and if you guys want to get involved in Undead Trials, it's going to be a Daybreak. All these titles of our games are so similar. It's going to be a Daybreak-focused Undead Trials, and you can go to that URL down there at the bottom of the screen, bit.ly/SODDFUT. And you can get in there and get all the information you need. And KCizzle is one of the folks organizing that, so you get to talk to this guy yourself.
That's right. I was actually the first player to ever open up the first Undead Trials with a solo melee victory.
Nice.
Back in the first Undead Trials back in September when Daybreak was released.
So you're like the old champion who's now like mentoring the other champions.
Actually, the champion of that Undead Trials was our three-peat Fall Down Go Boom.
Oh,
He's
that
our
guy.
Reigning champion. Yeah, that guy.
Fall Down Go Boom, winning everything.
Yeah,
What
he
the
won
heck?
it. He won it. But I did open it in a fashionable way.
Yeah, no, I still being fashionable. That still makes you a champion, KCizzle.
There you go. Yes, I do live a champion's lifestyle though.
So that's number one. Number two, we are looking to see you guys' car collections. And so if you guys want to post either a screenshot or a video giving us a tour of your car collection, post it on Twitter or on Instagram with hashtag SOD2Spotlight. We'll collect those, and on some future stream, we'll share the ones that stand out. And remember to keep the video. If you do a video, remember to keep it short. Keep it to like 30 seconds, because if it's any longer than that, we probably can't fit it onto a stream, and you're not gonna get to share your stuff with the whole community. So keep it brief.
I want to see Drucker County loaded.
And so, and your car collection, if there's something special about it, if you've got a Normata, if you've got it on the roof of Peddler's Barbecue, if there's something weird about your car collection, we definitely want to see it. So please share that with us. And then let's see here, what else we got. Now since we're on a little bit of a break between rounds, let's share some hype about KCizzle. So this is where you can interact with KCizzle on the internet. He's got a Twitter. He's Coach Keeby on Twitter. He's got his own Discord, bit.ly/champsdiscord. You can go there. And also on Twitch, he's KCizzle3g. So you guys keep track of all that stuff. Write that stuff down. Go open another tab. Get over there. KCizzle's actually going to be streaming right after this. So if you guys want to check out his stream, you can just go right there as soon as we're done here.
Exactly.
So, I guess I should have let you say some of that, but I'm so excited about you, KCizzle. I just wanted to
Hey,
talk.
no, you did great. We love your voice.
Oh, and also, and Gooniverse is pointing out there's also a channel for we've got our own Discord, the Undead Labs Discord. If you go, I think it's just discord.gg/undeadlabs.
Yes.
If you go there, you can join our Discord. We've got links we're gonna have links to all the stuff we're saying down in the doobly-doo if you watch this on YouTube later. But yeah, you can go join our Discord. We've got our support site, support.stateofdecay.com. If you've got wish list stuff that features you asked about in the chat and we didn't answer your questions, but you want to make sure we hear about it, go over to that to support.stateofdecay.com. If you've got a wish list item, read that wish list. If it's already there, just vote up the one that you got that you like. But if it's not there, go and add your own wish list request. We want to keep track of all of this stuff. And if you've got a bug or something that's hindering your experience in the game, report it to Joe, and we'd love to hear about it. I think that's all the stuff.
Also, in your Discord, in the Undead Labs Discord, there is a channel for the side events, the side D-Foot events, the Undead Trials and DK Fest.
That's right. That might have been what Gooniverse was talking about, actually. So yeah. So if you're into any of those channels, like you've got places you can go to find out about this stuff. So it's your own fault now.
Exactly.
If you wanted to be in Undead Trials and you didn't know how, you know how now. So you got to go and take care of it. You got to challenge yourself and get out there.
That's right.
Let's see. So, looking at our HUD, let's get to the end of this round. We got about a minute 40. Let's get to the end of this this Daybreak round, and then we're gonna cut ourselves off because we're gonna have to go. I got a game to make.
Yeah, I got bugs to do.
Yeah, we all got stuff to do. Coach Keeby over here, he's got his own stream he's got to do. He actually, I appreciate the sacrifice you made, KCizzle, coming here on our stream instead of doing your stream right now, because
you guys do a lot for us. Such a small sacrifice.
Yeah, and we're hoping.
Don't mention it.
We're hoping that a lot of folks in our audience are going to go over and follow you on your Twitch channel because I mean, seeing the way you perform in this game, I mean, you definitely deserve it. If people want to see really good SOD2 gameplay, you're the person they should get it from.
I appreciate that. I will be getting. I have 6 more achievements to get back to 100% State of Decay achievements, and they're all in Heartland. Right. So I'll be going for that.
That reminds me.
For those 6.
We need to add new achievements to the game to totally ruin that for you. So.
Yeah, you do. Every time you do.
Because with update 10, we added the bounty broker. We didn't add any achievements associated with him, and so it makes me feel like we should do something like that at some point.
I agree.
I should go make a note of that right now.
We need some more achievements. Maybe a knight's achievement for some melee type of.
some kind of Easter egg.
Melee type of achievement. There you go.
Well, I think killing this Juggernaut. That is a great way to end this because I think like 5 seconds left on the clock. It's 3:00 p.m. Pacific time.
I'm gonna do the red talent cheer.
The red talent cheer. Right. Let's just clear out these last couple of zombies, and we'll get it. Oh, look at this! We got an achievement for Nigel. Got to the 4th wave without any player using.
There we go.
We just did it.
We just got you.
The achievements don't even expect you to get any further than that.
I would just like to point out that when this achievement first came out, if any of those. If that guy had a gun like he does now, you wouldn't get it. You couldn't do that solo.
Oh, we forgot to check that, huh? Nice.
But it got fixed, apparently.
Even the NPC?
Yeah, the NPCs would count. Yeah, no, I think I remember that bug coming through, yeah.
That is true, yeah.
So,
that is
you
true.
didn't get it the hard way.
All right, well, I would like to say, so thank you, Joe, for, we're still hiding, Joe. Joe, you got to duck down so people can see your face, man. No, you don't. Okay, you're gonna be like the guy in Home Improvement or something. Anyway, so Joe, thank you for coming in here. Thanks for playing Daybreak way better than anybody else at the office was gonna be able to pull off at short notice. And then, of course, especially KCizzle, thank you so much for joining us for this stream.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Man,
it was fun, as always.
Too bad it didn't actually kill him.
Yeah, we absolutely love you, man. So thank you for being here, and thank you. Well, where's my camera? Thank you, audience, for joining us as well. We could not continue to make this game if you guys weren't playing it every day, and so we love you. We appreciate all of your involvement, all of the work that you guys put into putting things on our wish list, reporting bugs to us, and sharing the game with your friends. Like, you guys have done so much for all of us. We really, really appreciate it. And
thank you so much for making all of this possible.
Yeah, seriously, we love our jobs, and our jobs are only possible because of you. And because of folks like KCizzle. So go check out KCizzle's stream. I don't know what you're doing. Our stream's over. So just go somewhere else. Look, there's the link right there to his stream. So you should just, you can't click on it because, that doesn't work. But you can just type that in. Type that in and go see him. And we're just going to keep blathering for like 15 seconds because that's how we end our YouTube videos.
Yeah.